Okay, good morning. Welcome to my stream. We're back. It's Monday and it's time to switch to, let's see. There we go. We're going to be switching back to the roguelike tutorial. Hope everybody had a great weekend and let's see. What was it? Dev, Orion, RT. That's it. So where were we last? Oh, right. I need to get the web server running. Let me do that real quick. RT and then WASM. Right, and then that'll allow me to hit refresh here. Yep. Pull up the console. There we go. Go away. Start to load resource. Okay. All right. I think we're back up and running. This is still working. I can still open doors and go to different levels. Good. Okay, so let's dive right in. What did we do last time? Ooh, okay, there we go. All right, we added item identification scrolls, and we added remove curse scrolls and stuff like that. And a longsword -1. All right, so now we're going to be going to this chapter here, items that affect attributes and better status effects. So there are still a few common types that we aren't supporting yet. This chapter will finish that up and lay the framework for spellcasting in the next chapter. Okay. Items that improve attributes. A common type of item frequently found in D&D-like games. D&D likes are items that enhance or reduce your attributes. For example, Gauntlets of Ogre Power grant a might bonus, or Hat of Wizardry grants intelligence. We have most of the framework in place to support these items, so let's go the final mile and make them work. So in spawns.json, we'll add a little bit of text here. Oh, it's in raws. There we go. Items. I guess we can just throw it here at the top. Copy, paste. There we go. So we have a Gauntlets of Ogre Power, which are that character. They're green. Go on your hand slot. They add 5 to your might. Okay. Why didn't we just add this to wearable? We might want to make we might want to grant an attribute boost to other things. What do you mean? Why didn't we add this to wearable? We do have a wearable thing, right? Yeah. So here's wearable. We do have wearable. I guess oops. I'm a little, let's see, we were on, yeah, here's, that's wearable under breastplate. This is wearable, right? And this is attributes. And it adds might. What it says, why didn't we just add this to wearable? I'm confused. We might want to grant an attribute boost to other things. To support loading this and other attribute boosts, we need to edit item structs. Oh, we do have, see, this does have attributes. Oh, from mobs. Mobs have attributes. Okay, so I think what what they're responding to here is we're adding an attributes thing. And instead of putting the might here, well, it looks like an addition to the might here. We're adding a new attributes thing for the items. Okay. All right. I think this needs an edit pass. So let's open up item structs. We're going to modify item to add pub attributes. There's item attribute bonus, and then we're going to create that. And it's going to have might, fitness, quickness, and intelligence. Okay, very good. And then, as we've done before, we'll need a component to support this data. So in components, we have to add that. There we are. I guess it doesn't matter where it goes. Obstruct attribute bonus. And we'll do the same thing. So it's the same exact. Same values. Copy paste. Done. This is item attribute bonus. This is attribute bonus. Oh, and then we have to add it to save load and to main. We'll modify raws and raw master. Oh. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do this main thing first here. I guess that goes there maybe. And then in the save load system, attributes. So we'll just put it here, attribute bonus. And that's in the save side, and then here's the load side. Okay. Let's save and check. All right, and then we'll modify raws raw master spawn named item to support this. Okay. And again, does it matter where this goes in here? That's weapon, that's renderable, that's wearable. Maybe we just put it here if let some. Again, we'll do fitness, quickness, and intelligence. Do that. Okay. Oops. Got an extra N at the end there. All right, good. Now that the component can be applied to an item, let's put it into the spawn tables as ridiculously common. All right, as ridiculously common to make it easy. Okay, spawns. I guess we could just copy this guy here. Copy, paste. Min depth is 0, huh? And finally, we'll need to make it actually do something. We're doing something very similar in the encumbrance system, so that's a natural place to slot it in. We've added a lot. We'll add a lot to the system, so here's the whole thing. Oh, okay. So this is the entire encumbrance system now. We have the Sprex prelude, collections hash map. Let's see, we have write storage, entities, item, in backpack, equipped pools, attributes, entity, game log, read storage, attribute bonus. All right, and then this gets extracted. Oh, and it's called adder bonus. There we go. Dirty is empty, return. And then we're going to create a new struct. Really? So this is sort of an internal struct here. And then might. Okay, so sort of a standalone thing. And then we have this build. entity item update. Well, we did a hash map new. This stays the same, right? Equip dirty clear is the same, and then total up equip items. Okay, so this is where things change a little bit. Item equipped entity. What is this doing? And then it carried. Okay, so what we're doing is we're just adding these things up, and then it looks like we do it again. Oh, I see. So the carried items, right. The carried items don't get the attribute bonuses, whereas the equipped items do. And for some reason, we didn't need the entities last time, but we do need them this time. Let me just double check that I didn't miss it. Yeah, we have entities right there. Okay. And here, entities. And where are we using that? Oh, we're adding it to the list there. Okay. Got it. So entity, and this gets entities. So if to update contains key, the totals is get mod equipped owner. Weights. I see. We're saying totals is this weight and this initiative. Right, so we're just instead of having a tuple, we're doing it this way. That means this has to be up to, yeah, I see it here. Can we derive default on this? In the middle like this? And we'll give that a shot. Item update default. Let's try it, see what happens. And then in here we'll say if let sum adder. And then we're going to add up all these guys here. Totals.might. And this is fitness, quickness, and intelligence. Okay. This stays the same. And then we have apply data to pools, which entity and an item. Right. Because we've moved away from the tuples. So we just call that item. Pools get entity. Pools total weight is item weight. Pulls is item.initiative. And then we have the attributes. Here's the carry capacity. That all stays the same. It looks like. There's a comment in here. I can put that in. Like that. And then what we can do is add these things here. Adder, might, modifiers is equal to item might. And we can do that for all four of those guys. And then we have adder might bonus is adder bonus. Adder might base plus adder might modifiers. Right? That's it. Okay, good. And this is fitness, quickness, and intelligence. Okay. Not bad. So this is mostly the same logic as before, but we've changed quite a few things. Instead of a tuple holding our weight in initiative effects, we've added a struct to hold all the things we want to add up. Rust is nice. You can declare a struct inside a function if you only need it once. Okay. Just like before, we add up weights for all items and initiative penalties for equipped items. We also add up attribute bonuses and penalties for each item if they have them. Then we apply them to the modifiers portion of the attributes and recalculate the bonuses. The great thing is that because the other systems that use these attributes are already looking at the bonuses, and the GUI is looking at the modifiers for display, a lot of things just work, and not entirely in the Bethesda sense of the phrase. Okay, so now if we cargo run, we should be able to find Gauntlets of Ogre Power and equip them for a bonus, and the remove to take away. All right, let's try. First, does this build? It does not. Oh, I forgot a semicolon there. An attribute bonus needs to be added here. And then what else? Adder bonus doesn't exist. So that's probably in up here too. Let's try it. It's been a week. Yep. And can't satisfy, constraints because of the missing attributes. Ooh. Oh, right. This has to be changed. Might? No. This is weight. And this needs to be initiative. I misspelled quickness. And intelligence. Okay. And one more. Oh, too many eyes and intelligence there. Oh, we still have a problem. Adder is an ampersand ref. So the data refers to cannot be written. Did I miss a mut? Here's a get. Oh, get mut. Yes. Okay. Let's fix that. Okay, one more. This can't be called on storage. Oh, did I get the wrong type for this? Read storage attribute bonus. Oh. Okay. Then it should be write storage attribute bonus, right? Oh, that's adder bonus. That's different. Here's mut attributes. Oh, is that what I messed up? Yeah, okay. This has to be mut, and then I change this attributes from read to write. Okay. There we go. All right, so let's build this and refresh and see if we can find some Gauntlets of Ogre Power and try this out here. And it should improve our stats. It starts out all 11s. And then once I equip it, it should go up. Or at least the might part should go up, right? Next level. Let's go to God mode so we don't die looking for these things. There's some. You picked up unidentified gauntlets. Let's equip them. Right. So our might went up from 11 to 16. If I remove them, and then, oh, our might doesn't go back down. Huh. Okay, there's a bug somewhere. If I re-equip them, it doesn't go up again. If I remove them, okay, so there's a bug somewhere that we need to track down, in that when we remove an item, we should also update the, so that would be in the GUI. We can start with the GUI, right? And there's item removal. There's a function here somewhere. Let's see, identify menu, remove curse menu. Right, so here's the remove item menu. So somewhere we're removing the item, we need to update this item stats on removal, and there's probably some component that we need to add to the player or something. So let's take a look at where does show inventory get called. And that's going to be in game state, because show inventory does the right thing. If we select it and it's a reading item, blah 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 blah, wants to use item, right? So that gets inserted into the we insert a brand new wants to use item. Here's the show remove, and here's we insert a wants to remove item. So the question is, where does that get activated? Let's look for that. It's in the remove system. And here's wants remove. It does remove it if it's not cursed, but it doesn't equip.remove. It just removes it from the list of equipped items, but it doesn't do anything. Let's look at inventory system, and what do we have? Use equip. Oops. I meant to hit Control N and it didn't work. There. So when we do use equip, we actually go through this thing and say what needs to happen, right? It unequips something else and equips the new thing. And then it triggers this equipment changed. Okay, so this is what we need to look for, is equipment changed. We need to generate that for each item that we remove, the equipment changed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look, not there, here. We're on chapter 65. We're going to take a look at the code for chapter 65. I think it's 65. Yep. And take a look at the remove item, the remove system, and see if it generates a equipment change. It does right here, and that's missing from this. So I think that's what the bug is. So let's add that. Then we're going to have to add, let's see, in remove system we have the game log. No. Okay, so we must have either skipped over something or it's missing from the tutorial, but we have to figure this out. Equipment change has to be added here as a write storage. We do have game log here, right? Entities, wants to remove item, equipped in backpack, cursed item, name, and then equipment changed. And then we have to add this thing here called dirty. And then at the end here, after we successfully remove it, we're going to say dirty, insert, entity, equipment changed, expect, unable to insert. All right, I think that'll fix the bug. Oh, it doesn't like that because we need to add it up here. There we go. And now if I regenerate this, hopefully this will do the trick. Right. So we're going to be looking here when we pick up the Gauntlets of Ogre Power and then remove them, it should go back to 11. Refresh, begin new game. Oh, there were some right down here. Pick them up, unidentified gauntlets, look at them, equip them. We go up to 16, remove, E, and it goes back to 11. Okay, so we fixed that bug. Let's commit these changes. Good. Charged items. Technically, I should have made the change to the remove system separate because it's a bug fix, and the rest of it is unrelated to the bug fix. But I'm not doing branching and backporting and all that kind of stuff, so I'm not worried about it. Charged items. Not all items crumble to dust when you use them. A potion vial might hold more than one dose. A magical rod might cast its effect multiple times. Let's make a new item, the Rod of Fireballs. We'll define the basics. It's basically a scroll of fireball, but with charges. Oh, it's under consumable. Okay. And again, we'll just put it right at the top. Put a comma there, insert it, or indent it rather. And we have this new charges value. We need to extend the item definition to handle the new data. Okay, we can do that. All right. We'll also extend consumable component. Oh. It didn't have any data before, but now it does. So let's do this. Pub max charges. And pub charges. Note that we're storing both max and current. That's so we can allow recharging later. We'll need to extend rawmaster to apply this information. Okay. And we were just here in rawmaster doing something for the item attributes. Yeah, right there. Okay, so we'll put it right after that. Oh wait, do we already have? Yeah, we do. We did already have consumable. So let's do that. So one charge by default. We'll say consumable. I don't think we need to do that. Create components business max charges, and charges starts out as max charges. Right, and apply effects, consumable effects. Good. Now we need to make consumables with charges make use of them. That means not self-destructing if max charges is greater than 1, only firing if there are charges remaining, and decrementing the charge count after each usage is greater than 1. So this means if max charges is equal to 1, you can't, it's not something you can recharge. Okay, let's fix that bug. Fortunately, this is an easy change to triggers. Okay. Here's our item trigger code. Oh, right at the top there. So we're going to do check charges and then use the item via the generic system. So this all stays the same. Oh, it doesn't. This changes here. Okay, so I'm going to have to fix that. Let's do this one first. Check. Oops. Charges. Okay, if C charges is less than 1, cancel. Is out of charges. oops. And then it's ECS read storage. I'm going to grab the name. Item, unwrap, oops. Unwrap, there we go, and name. Otherwise, we're going to decrement the charges. Like that. And then there's the use the item, and then we're going to modify this code here. Do we need the did something, or can we just return? If bang this return. And then we can get rid of this extra variable here and just say if let sum c is equal to that without popping up an extra window. And get rid of that. And then we're going to keep the delete failed. We're just going to say if c max charges is 0, then delete failed. Okay. This is, okay, if it was consumable, then it gets deleted. So this says C max charges is 0. And here they were saying, oops, not there. Here, they were saying if max charges is greater than 1. So this is different. The code's different to the documentation. So what do you believe? Let me start a poll, see what you believe. I'm just kidding, I don't do polls, sorry. That gets you the multi-use rod of fireballs. However, we should have some way to let the player know if charges remain to help out with item management. After all, it really sucks to point your rod at a mighty dragon and hear a fut sound as it eats you. We'll go into GUI and extend get item display name. Okay. Let's see if this checks first. It does. Let's go into GUI, get item display name. This was the wrong way to search for it. There we go. Okay, so if it has a name and it is a magic item, then we're going to grab the master dungeon map and see if it's identified. This map, okay, so I think this is slightly confusing because this is not a map. This is just the master dungeon data. This global data. If DM identified items contains name, and now we're going to say, we're going to extend this here. If C max, oh wait. Oh, if let some C, let some C is ECS read storage consumable get item, and then if C dot max charges is greater than 1, name clone C charges string else. This is not fun code, is it? Name clone. Wow. Okay. So these pyramid shaped things with the if lets and stuff like that, there's better ways to do it. Don't know if I'm gonna bother refactoring this because it'll just hurt in the future when they make more changes to here. Okay. So now we should see how many, we need to add to our rod of fireballs. We need to actually modify the spawn table, right? We can't just have this. Let's modify the spawn table to put in the rod of fireballs. Copy that. Let's change the weight, I don't know, to 1, I guess. Min depth 3. And change this to here. Rod of fireballs. Make this 100. And change that 3 to a 0. So now we should see rods of fireballs everywhere. And we can try it out and see if it shows up as a with the number of charges in it. Here. Okay. Well, begin new game. All right, God mode, teleport, and then look. And let's find those rods. There's one. Unidentified rod. So if I hit Shift 3, it's select target. Oh, that's interesting. We have a little bug here. We should stop displaying the name of the map when the select target shows up. If I click here now, it's now identified as a rod of fireballs with 4 charges left. So Shift 3. Now it's got 3 charges left. 2, 1, 0. Rod of fireballs is out of charges. Okay, but it has 0 charges. All right, so we got that. That's working well. If you go run the project now, you can find your rod of fireballs and blast away until you run out of charges. That is correct. All right, so let's push these changes. We don't have any way of recharging yet, but that I'm sure that's coming later. Let's commit these changes. Oh, we don't need toString on format. That makes sense because it's already returning a string. Okay. So add git commit -m rod of fireballs. Oh, I should have changed the spawn rate. Oh well. Status effects. Right now we're handling status effects on a case-by-case basis, and it's relatively unusual to apply them. Most deep roguelikes, what's a deep roguelike, have lots of possible effects, ranging from hallucinating on mushrooms to moving at super speed after drinking some brown goop. We've left these until now because they dovetail nicely into the other things we've been doing in this chapter. Up until this chapter, we've added confusion as a tag to the target and relied on the tag to store the duration. That's not really in the spirit of an ECS. Rather, confusion is an entity effect that applies to a target for a duration number of turns. As usual, examining the taxonomy is a great way to figure out what entity component groups something should have. So we'll visit components and make 2 new components, also registering them, and modify the confusion component to match this. So we're going to have a duration and a status effect. Oh, let's just nvim and then components. Confusion. So confusion already has turns, so we're going to just strip that out of confusion and do this. Pub struct duration. Right, we're just going to have turns, and then we're going to have pub struct status effect. Oops, that should be capital E. Okay. Also, because we're storing an entity, we need to write a wrapper to keep the serialization happy. Rust. What? I think this is old because we've done it before. Maybe right here, right? Component convert save load clone. So I'm not worried about this. I think this must just be left over from a previous run, a previous iteration of this. So now we need to add duration and status effect. Okay. And I hit F1 again. Okay, so now do this. Sort. Okay, and then in their save load system, where can we put them? Where's status effect? Here it is. I guess we can put it maybe just above teleport too. Sure. Oh, Or here, that's fine. Duration on status effect. They just need to be the same between the save load. So this is the save side. There's teleport 2. And there's the load side. Okay, so as long as they're in the same order, we're all happy. That's all well and good, but we've broken a few things. Everything that expected confusion to have a turns field is now complaining. Let's see. Let's see. There we go. Oh. Oh, right. We can't do convert save load on things that don't have a field, right? We have to use serialize and deserialize. So let's just grab those and put that there. Right, so now confused.turns doesn't exist. Okay, so we'll fix that. We'll start in raw master and separate the effect from the duration. Confusion. So EB with confusion, like that, semicolon, and EB is EB with duration, turns. Why are we missing semicolons on these guys? I guess it doesn't matter because all it means is we're returning the value, but we don't need to return the value. Okay. All right, so we still have this bug. It affects triggers. Let's pull up triggers. We have confusion. There it is. Let some confusion is read storage, and then we have to say let some duration. Then we're going to add the effect here of creator. Confusion is going to be duration turns. Targets our clone, that all stays the same. We have did something is true. And oops, that goes like that. Okay. And here we're starting to make this pyramid effect again, where we should be able to do it differently. I'm going to have to look at idiomatic ways of handling multiple if-let sums, because it bothers me. All right, if add pubfun add confusion. So this is in damage. Here's add confusion. If let effect type confusion turns is effect type, we're going to create an entity. That's very different, isn't it? We're creating an entity that contains all of this stuff, rather than writing confusion to interesting with duration. Turns with name. And then build. That's very interesting. So we're creating an entity, a brand new entity that's just confusion, that's floating in the ether. It doesn't have a location, it doesn't have any display info. Oh, I typoed name. And we also have to pull in duration and status effect, right? Oh no, we got stars there. Okay. So what else is it complaining about? Why is it complaining about duration then? Parsing this effect expected identify. Oh, I put a comma instead of a colon. Okay. And then we still have to fix this. The turn status system. We'll change. Okay. that leaves AI effect status. What? You mean AI turn status? Yeah. Okay. I called it turn status here. He's calling it effect status. Maybe it got renamed partway through the tutorial. All right, so we still have my turn, confusion, entities, run state. Okay, we just need to add status effect as a read storage. Okay, and what does this do? Statuses. That's a funny word. Okay, if we're not ticking the return. Here's not my turn, and not confused is not there anymore. So that's very different. Okay, so we're gonna just we'll follow along here. Right, and then for entity turn and entities turns. Then we're going to say entity turns, insert entity. So entity turns just has a list of all the entities which have turns. That goes away. Okay, we have an effect entity and a status effect. So we're no longer using the confused thing here. Entities and then statuses. S-T-A-T-U-S-E-S. There we go. So now we're no longer subtracting confused. We just say skip turn for confusion. Okay. Then when do we decrement the duration? That must be sometime later. Entity turns contains status effect target skip turn for confusion. Not my turn. It's just that. And then if it's not my turn, do that, and then we get rid of that. Okay. Yeah, somewhere we're going to have to figure out how to decrement our duration. Hash set. Okay, let's add that. Use standard functions. Hash set. Oops, I misspelled collections. And we still have a problem. Not my turn, entity push. Oh, we have to push status effect target. Pushing the wrong thing there. Good. Okay, we have 3 warnings though. Let's take a quick look at those. Triggers looks at confusion, and this doesn't need to be mutable. Okay. Oh, did they change that here too? Yeah, just read storage for confusion. Got it. Okay. That fixes that one. And then in triggers, we have 164, this line here. We don't need the actual confusion effect. We can just say is some. Okay. There we go. So if you cargo run now, this will work, but there's one glaring problem. Once confused, you are confused forever, or until someone puts you out of your misery. That's not quite what we had in mind. We've decoupled the effect's duration from the effect taking place, which is a good thing, but that means we have to handle durations. Yeah, that's what I was talking about before. Here's an interesting conundrum. Status effects are their own their own entities, but don't have an initiative. Turns are relative, since entities can operate at different speeds. So when do we want to handle duration? The answer is the player's turn. Time may be relative, but from the player's point of view, turns are quite well defined. In effect, the rest of the world is speeding up when you are slowed, because we don't want to force the player to sit and be bored while the world chugs around them. Since we are switching to player control in the AI initiative system, we'll handle it there. Okay. I don't want to commit these changes because it's not done yet. Like they said in the docs, once you're confused forever. So let's fix that before we commit these changes. All right, so we have write storage, read storage, write storage entities, write expect, right, attributes, run state, entity, the point, and the pools. All right, so those are all the same. So we're just adding duration, equipment change, and status effect. There we go. And then we just have to add it here. So, whoops, mut durations, mut dirty, and statuses. There we go. And I think everything else is going to start off the same. One of the things that's nice about Nystrom's book is that when we make modifications, you see where the code is changing, and if code is being edited, we're not just adding a line, we're replacing. Here it says replace one line, for example. That would have been nice to have here, but obviously a lot more work for the author. But we got to just scan down here and see what we're doing. Here's handle duration. So I think everything else stays the same. And all we need to do is add this to handle durations down here. Right, it's just after the for loop, which is this loop here. If run state is run state awaiting input, then we're going to do this. Dot join. Duration turns gets reduced if duration turns is less than 1. Okay, that's interesting. Expect unable to insert. That we're actually modifying, we're saying equipment changed if our duration runs out. And then we'll delete the entity. And this entity is the status entity, the confusion entity that got created when we got confused. The system is basically unchanged, but we've added a few more accessors into different component storages and added the handle duration section at the end. This simply joins entities that have a duration and a status effect and decrements the duration. If the duration is complete, it marks the status as target as dirty and deletes the status effect entity. So now we have to be able to display this. Okay, so this should check. Nope. Oh, I misspelled duration. Wow. What did I do wrong here? There's duration. There's duration. No initiative system. Really? That was working before. What did I break? Huh. That's funny. All right, let's do a cargo check out here. Oh, I see what I did. I forgot the comma. Yeah, the comma. That was awkward. Okay, there we go. Displaying player status. Now that we have a generic status effect system, we should modify the UI to show ongoing statuses. I'm not a fan of that word. Okay. So actually, it's in GUI, right? In Draw UI. Where is y equals 44? I don't see that. Here's consumables. Oh, it's replaced the status section with. I guess that's this. Because this is the hunger thing. All right, there's hunger clock. And we can look at all of these guys. Oh, I see. We have a small issue. We need to do this and then y plus equals 1 for all except normal. Oops. Normal does not get a y plus equals 1. Oh, minus equals. Oh, we're doing minus equals this time. I guess we're going from the bottom up. That makes sense. And then we're going to say let statuses and then duration and then names. And we're going to loop over them for status duration. Join if status.target is equal to player entity. Then we're going to do the CTX print color 50 Y red black format bang. This open close name duration turns. And then y minus equals 1. Okay. And that almost checks. We don't have status effect and we don't have duration. So we can't do a join. This is almost time to put the star in there, right? Okay, that checks. This is very similar to what we had before, but we are storing y as a variable so the list of status effects can grow upwards. Then we query the ECS for entities that have a status, duration, and name. And if it is targeting the player, we use that to display the status. Okay, so at this point we should be able to see those. How do I get confused? I guess I would have to... All right, let me actually modify the the spawner. So we have scrolls of confusion as common, and I'll confuse myself. Rod of fireballs changes to, I guess, 3. Nip 3, and then confusion scroll. We'll make this 200. And then we have to rebuild, unfortunately, which is another 22 seconds. Display mob status. It would also be nice to have some indication that status effects are applying to NPCs. There are 2 levels to this. We can display the status in the tooltip, and also use particles to indicate what's going on in regular play. To handle tooltips, we're going to modify GUI. Alright, let's take a look first here. Begin a new game, teleport. Let's go find a confusion scroll. There's one. If I hit Shift 3, I can target myself. And now it shows that I'm confused for 3 turns. If I try to go down. Oh. If I go left. No. If I go up and to the left. Well, I was confused, but it wasn't stopping me from acting confused. I don't know if that's a bug yet, though, because I don't think we... Confusion is supposed to make entities not move. Mobs, sorry, not move. But the player should end up moving in some random direction. So right now, being confused doesn't do anything. But we were at least able to see the status effect on the screen here. So that's good. Get status, let's fix that. So the confusion isn't weighted at 200 anymore. Refactored. Status effect. Duration. Out of confusion. Entity type. No, component type. There. Okay, so next we're going to do this. Display the mob status. So in GUI, draw tooltips. Is right here. So underneath comment on pools, add the following. Here's comment on pools. Oh, right here, comment on pools. I guess that's here. Names, duration, and name. And we do the same loop for status, duration, and name, and statuses, not statute, statuses, there we go, durations and names, join, if status target is entity, tip add, format bang, name, duration turns. Okay, and that adds that. We might have to add these 3, or at least 2. No, we did a star, didn't we? No, we didn't. Oh, we already had some in there. Okay, good. So now if you confuse a monster, it displays the effect on the tooltip. Okay. The other half is to display a particle when a turn is lost to confusion. We'll add a call to the effect system to request a particle. All right, I just want to see that the tooltip works first, once we confuse a rat or some other creature. There we go, begin game. Oh, you know what? I turned down the confusion scroll. Maybe I can buy one? Not there. Now I have to find the apothecary. Reveal map. I need to add some code in here which allows me to just summon items by name. Type in the name and it gives you the item. Ooh, there's some rats. You can confuse them. Nothing in there. Nothing up my sleeve. Oh, what's that? That's Mom. We're looking for the priest, maybe? Does the priest sell confusion? Oh, that's right. The priest is not a vendor yet. And that might be a typo in our data file. Dead thing, alchemist. The alchemist must sell confusion scrolls. There we go. H. Oh, and I can't buy them. I have to cheat with adding myself some money. Buy an H. Oh, they're not cheap, huh? 75 it cost me. Alright, so I have a confusion scroll. I should be able to now go to... The deer was running way too fast. Let me find something that's actually going to come after me. Oh, I'm hungry now. There we go. Rat. Okay, so let's confuse the rat. Shift 3 on the rat. And now he's got 3 levels of confusion. If I move, he now has 2. If I hit space, he goes down to 1. If I hit space again, he goes to none. And then he chases after me. Okay, so that worked. Good. Right, so we're going to change the turn status. Skip a turn for confusion, and then we're going to add an effect. And then do not my turn. Okay. And it's going to be effect type particle glyph RLTK to CPU 437 question mark. Foreground, it's going to be cyan, and the background is going to be black, and the lifespan is going to be 200 milliseconds, and the target is going to be a single target status effect dot target. I messed up something somewhere. Oh, this lifespan should be like that. Effect type doesn't exist. And targets doesn't exist. An add effect. There we go. Okay, so now if I cargo run the project, I can see confusion in action, which means we have to rebuild, wait another 20 seconds, and then we'll buy another confusion scroll. Oh, it didn't use up the confusion scroll. There's a bug. It should have used it up. Well, the rat's not confused. Shift 3. I mean, the confusion scroll isn't getting used up, which means there's something to do with the charges on it. It's not destroying it. Yeah, see, I think that's the bug with the 1 versus 0 thing. And that we'll have to track down. Maybe we'll look at the code here to see how it's done. I don't see anything in here about being used up. That's equip use, but we're not equipping it. We're just using it. which is different. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what happens if I hit refresh. Let's go find the apothecary again. Maybe it's this big one. Nope. Oh, that's the rats. Who's this? Is this Mom? Oh, that's a blacksmith. That's Mom. Mom is peach colored. Okay. Nobody in there. Just want to quickly buy a chair. Oh, that's a dead thing. Okay, I think this is the right one. Yep, confusions. Oh, right, I forgot my money. So we're going to do a confusion scroll. We're going to jump to the next level. And what we changed was the particle. So we should see a question mark every turn that the entity in question is confused. So let's go confuse this rat. Oh, they're fighting each other. Okay, let's confuse the wolf. Space. Okay, there's the question mark really briefly. Space. Space. Oh, that's interesting. It moved on the last one. So there's a little timing thing here. Where the question mark showed up, but then the wolf was able to move because the confusion ended. Alright. If this were a real game, I would want to fix that, but that's okay. So if you cargo run the project now, you can see confusion in action. Okay, and we did. Git status, git add source, git commit, add tool, tip, and confusion particle. Okay, so now let's do hangovers. Going back to the design document, we mentioned that you start with a hangover. We can finally implement it. Since you start the game with a hangover, open up spawner and add the following to the end of the player spawn to make the hangover entity. Alright, so we're creating a new entity with a status effect, and the target's going to be the player. Okay, I see how that works. Just like the confusion. And that's going to be to the end of the player spawn. So, do this ECS. And it's going to have a name. And an attribute bonus. Might, fitness, quickness, and intelligence. And they're all -1 except for fitness. Oh, I forgot the commas. There we go. And then that's that. And then with all marked. Simple marker. Serialize me. And then dot build. Okay. Do we have to add status effect duration up here? No, we have create star. So we're good. That built. Being hungover sucks. You're weaker, slower, and less intelligent, or you will be once we modify the encumbrance system. It really needs a new name. To handle attribute changes from statuses, the system needs one small improvement. Okay, so let's do that. Encumbrance system. Okay, so this is for equipped. This is for carried. And then we're going to say total status effect modifiers. Then we're going to say let totals is equal to update get mut status target unwrap. Why this? Why double lookup? Why can't we just say if let sum? I'm going to try that. If let sum totals equals to update get mut status target, and we'll do this. Okay, and then it's just basically these 4 lines, right? But instead, yeah, it's exactly those same 4 lines. Misspelled to update. I'm trying to think here. So this is the attribute bonus for the entity, and this is just any entity that has this. Okay. This shows us the real reason for having a hangover system. It lets us safely test effects, changing your attributes and making sure the expiration works. If you cargo run the game now, you can watch the hangover in effect and wearing off. Okay. Let's see if this checks. We have an error. It doesn't like statuses. That's because it's not in here. We're not changing it, so we're just reading it. So we want to add status effect here, and then I guess status effect here, read storage. And then this becomes statuses. There, okay, that fixed it. And we can build this sucker and see if we have a hangover. I would like to fix this confusion scroll issue where we use it, it needs to go away. Maybe that's something we can look at on the next stream in the beginning when we do our debugging. But I think we're almost done with this chapter, which is nice. Right here, refresh. So we begin with a hangover. And we can see we're down at 10 for each one of these guys. And as soon as I end the hangover, there we go. One turn past that, it goes back to up to 11. Okay, let's refresh again. Oops, refresh. There we go. So there's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, up. Okay, that's good. So that works. So where were we? We were down here. We're almost done. Yeah, wrap up. Oops, I missed here. Potion of Strength. Okay, so we're going to finish up with Potion of Strength, and then we will call it a stream. Okay, so get status here is get add source, get commit, starting, add it in the starting hangover. Get push. Oh, we don't want to push yet because we still have to do Potion of Strength. Now that we have all this, let's use it to build a strength potion. I always picture the old Asterisk, the Gaul comics. This is a questionably relevant comic these days, unfortunately. Oops, wrong click. I meant to click this one here. There we go. So now in RAWs, we're going to add a strength potion to our items. Looks like we have a bang. So this is our second potion, right? Up till now, all we had was health potions, and now we're adding a strength potion. It adds might. What does health potion do? Health potion doesn't have anything. It has a provides healing effect. This has a particle effect, and that's all it has. All right, this one has provides healing, and this one just has particle. But it does have this attributes thing, which is what the relevant part is. So there's nothing new here. We're going to show a particle effect, and we've attached an attributes section, just like the others, to the potion. We're going to have to tweak the effect system to know how to apply transient attribute effects, however. So we're going to add a new effect type down here. That's it, new effects. There's quite a few effect types now. And we're going to add one more attribute effect. Bonus. Okay. And then we're going to modify. Oops, attribute bonus doesn't exist. Really? Why not? Oh, is this the first thing that actually comes out of the crate? No, we have this. We have effect type and targets. It says use crate attribute bonus. Huh. I think, oh, that's weird. So everything else must come from these things here. And this is the first time we're using something directly from the crate. Interesting. Use crate. Yeah, okay. And then tile effect hits entities. Where is that? Is that in here? It is. Look at that. So we have damage, we have well-fed, healing, confusion, teleport 2, and we're just going to add one more. Attribute effect. Okay. And then tell it to call a new function we haven't written yet. And it's going to be in damage. And attribute effect. So now in our damage system, we're going to add that damage. Attribute effect. Let's just put it at the bottom. If let effect type. So this is all for the potion of strength here. With bonus clone. So the bonus is whatever the attribute effect was. Clone the name. Oh, this is marked. So marker, serialize me, and build. It says write storage. We should probably rename the equipment changed thing, because it's no longer equipment change, it should just be called status change or something like that. All that remains is to open up triggers and add an attribute bonus effects as a trigger type. All right, let's see if this checks. Oops, I misspelled duration. I misspelled world. Simple marker. Okay. And equipment changed. It's typoed. And then marked. This needs a marked builder. It needs the a trait imported. We do have 2 warnings. Unreachable pattern. Why? Why is that unreachable? Oh, it's in mod. Oh, because I called it teleport to. It should be attribute effect. Like that. So I should clean up that last warning. Good. So now in triggers, and an attributes modifier effects as a trigger type. Where? In item trigger? In event trigger? Down here where we do confusion and all that kind of stuff? I'm guessing it's event trigger. But it is an item that we're using, right? Okay. Let's just do it here. Instead of teleport, or just after teleport, sorry, attribute modifiers. Because it feels like it should go here. If let some header. It has the same code format. Fixed duration of 10. Interesting. You'd think that would be part of the item in question, right? Because if the item, maybe it's like a weaker potion or a stronger potion, and each potion would have its own duration type. Maybe that was just too much all at once. Well, maybe we'll add that later. Cloning the name, cloning the target, done with that, and then did something is true. Yeah. Okay, so that confirms that we're in the right spot because this is the did something thing. This is similar to the other triggers. It makes another event fire, this time with the attribute effect in place. You can cargo run now, and strength potions are working in game. Here's a screenshot of drinking one while still hungover, showing you that effects now correctly stack. Where can we get a strength potion from? I guess this is one of those places where we just want to toss it in. Here. Because we can spawn named entity for all these things. Right, I just have to make sure it's spelled correctly, because if it's not spelled correctly, it's going to blow up. Strength potion. And then, of course, we're going to need to add it to our spawn table. Yep, strength potion. Okay, good. I guess we'll give it the same weight as the health potion. And I'm just going to put it in here temporarily. It'll take it out before I commit these changes. Just so that we can see it in the player's inventory, and then we can use it and show that same stacking effect here. You can see these are 10s. Oh, anyway. Let's refresh. And then see what's going on here. Refresh, begin new game. So we start off with an oily yellow potion, which is fine. I'm going to go hangover. Ooh, I misspelled hangover. Let's fix that too. And we'll take this out now. Okay, so now if I hit space, 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 so I went 3 on hangover, and now I'm going to consume the oily yellow potion. And again, this changed to strength potion. It should disappear. But we do see a 15 plus 2. A 10 and a 10, and then once the hangover, and we can see both effects are going on. 3, 2, 1. As soon as the hangover goes away, this goes up to 16 for 2 more turns. Okay. I would love to clean that up. I'm going to see their example here. Yeah, so the strength potion is in the inventory. Yeah, okay, so the bug is in their code too. That's fine. And there we have it, a status effects system that is nice and generic, and a system to let items fire them, as well as provide attribute bonuses and penalty. That wraps up the item system for now. In the next chapter, we'll move on to magic spells, which will use many of the foundations we've built in these chapters. All right. So we need to fix that bug, but I'm not going to yet because it looks like that bug exists here. Can I actually use it more than once? Shift 3. I cannot. I'm hitting Shift 3. Strength potion is out of charges. Okay. Strength potion. Let's say added. There we go. And now we'll push. That's our locks. Let's go back to our LTK tutorial and take a look at these commits. There we go. So this is what we did today. We added the Gauntlets of Ogre Power, the Rod of Fireballs. We refactored some code so that duration and status effect are separate. We demonstrated that with the hangover, and we just now added strength potions. Whole bunch of work, and then tomorrow we're going to start with magic spells, or finally a use for that blue mana bar. Right, we got this blue mana bar here. It's been sitting here, never used. The gold is our experience, and the red is our health. All right, so that'll be for tomorrow, and that'll wrap up the stream. Thanks for hanging out with me, everyone. Let me do a quick check on who else might be streaming. Then we could go to someone in German. Oh, thank you, Silvestavaz 320. Thanks for joining the stream and hanging out with me. Appreciate it. And I'll hopefully catch you tomorrow. Take care, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.